I'm going to talk a little bit about what we use for bridle-wise for dressage horses. And a normal snaffle bridle is what we normally start the horse out in as a young horse, and should actually be ridden in a normal snaffle bridle all the way throughout the levels, from training level all the way up to Grand Prix. And later on, of course, you definitely want the horse in a double bridle, which a double bridle has 2 bits. The normal snaffle bridle has 1 bit. So, of course, the normal snaffle bridle in this case is just, I'll show you the bit, has loose ring at the side that the rings are able to move, and it has a French link in the middle, which allows the horse to chew a little bit more. It's a little bit thicker of a bit. So this is a very normal, ordinary snaffle bit that you would want to put in the horse's mouth that has a fairly normal mouth. Of course, if your horse is a little bit stronger, you probably wanted to use a little bit of a thinner bit, whereas the thicker the bit, the less severe the bit. So this is a nice kind of a bit to get your horse started off in dressage, and it's very important to experiment with bits and see what works for each horse as well as the saddles, and to talk to your trainer about that and see what works best. You also want to make sure that the bits are long enough and not too short on the side of the horse's mouth, that it's not going to cut them, and that there's enough room by measuring the horse's mouth from side to side, as well as that the bit is also not too large, because either way it could cause some issues for your horse, cause some discomfort. So you want to make sure that the size is very important, the fitting of the bit. We also have, thank you, this is a loose ring snaffle, which is very similar to the one I just showed you. It just does not have the link in the center here. So this is probably the most common of your snaffle bits. It's a loose ring snaffle, which means that the rings are able to move freely on either side of the bit. Some bits have, they're attached to the bit, so they are not able to move. This just allows a little bit more freedom of movement.